Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to be discussing how to start lifting 14 lifters, where to start, how to do it to set yourself up on the right track. But before we get into that, my name is Noah. I am the founder of Get Her Done Fitness, and I made it my mission to help all the young teenage men get the body and the confidence they've always wanted. So, hopping right into this one, how to start lifting, where to start. The number one thing I would say when you start lifting is going to be making sure that your diet's on point, because a lot of guys, they start training in the gym but they don't even consider their diet or other stuff like that. They just think, oh, go gym, right? That's awesome, that's a big part of it, but something that is extremely important is also going to be your diet, because depending on what your goals are, your diet is a very, 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 very crucial part of that. And so, for example, if you're going into the gym to gain weight, gain size, if you're a skinny guy, right? You're going to be looking at a caloric surplus and a lot of protein, making sure you're eating enough, because in a caloric surplus, you're consuming more calories than you're burning. And so you are going to put on the size, you're going to pack on weight. And so you need to be in that caloric surplus. And then on top of that as well, you need to be eating enough protein to make sure that you're actually putting on muscle and not fat. And enough protein is going to be about 1 gram per pound of body weight. And so if you weigh 150 pounds, you need to be eating 150 grams of protein. It's pretty straightforward. Make sure you're eating enough. Make sure you're eating enough protein if you're trying to gain weight. But if you're trying to lose weight, right, if you're a bit of a bigger guy, a bit chubbier, totally fine. You're going to be looking at a caloric deficit where you are consuming less calories than you are burning. And those extra calories that you're burning that aren't coming from the food that you're eating, they're going to come from your stored body fat. And so you're going to start to drop that weight and reveal the muscle that you're building at the same time underneath that fat as it comes off. And so you just have to make sure that you have the right diet keys and principles in place to actually make progress in the gym. And then on top of that as well, you need to actually make sure that you're training right in the gym. And I would say this is pretty much the same all across the board when it comes to training. You know, it doesn't matter what your goals are. You need to go in, you need to train hard, you need to train to failure. Like, I see all these people talking about RPE, this, that, only train this hard on this day. Like, it's all just fluff. Like, you just got to go in, you got to train hard, you got to train harder than last time. You got to go in, try to lift more than you did the last session or the last week or the last month, right? As long as you're making progress on a regular basis, whether that be on a session per session basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, whatever it might be, you need to be making progress and moving forward, getting stronger, because as you get stronger, that means you're going to be getting bigger muscles as well, because mass moves mass. So the more mass you're moving, the more mass you have in terms of muscle. And so, very important that you are training hard in the gym. Just don't train like a pussy and you'll be fine. And when you're just starting out in the gym, it is also very important that you master your form on all of your lifts. Like, I see guys going in, right? It's their second week, it's their first week, and they're going in, they're maxing out on squat and bench and all this other stuff. You know, just trying to lift as much as humanly possible because either their ego tells them to, or they actually think that's going to make them some progress. Okay, dangerously maxing out on the heavy dangerous lifts where you can actually kill yourself, because you can actually kill yourself on bench, right? If that bar comes down to your neck, it can suffocate you. It can sever your spinal cord. If you're squatting and it folds you over and it crushes your neck, same thing. Like, those lifts can literally kill you. And so you need to be careful, okay? Especially if you're just starting out. Like, you know, it's one thing if an experienced gym bro is going in to max out on squat. But that's a whole nother story. But if you're just starting out, you're still learning the form, you're still trying to master that, don't try to max out, okay? I would stick to very low weight and get the form down first. Make sure your form is on point. Make sure that everything that you're doing is as perfect as possible. Make sure that your form is good. And so what that means is that, you know, even though I said train to failure, that's the exception, is when you're first starting out, don't train to failure on the compound lifts, but you can still go train to failure on all the other lifts, like the cables, the dumbbells, etc. You can train to failure on those, okay? That's fine. That's not going to hurt you maybe. Well, it might, but just in general, make sure that you're lifting right, and especially on the compound lifts, do not go to failure on those yet. You can later as soon as you figure it out, and you'll know when you have it figured out, because when you have it figured out, it'll all just click and you'll kind of know what you're doing. But in the meantime, don't do that. You're going to regret it. And I'm currently hosting a free video training for all of my gym bros out there who are trying to unlock their dream physique in just 12 weeks without all the BS and misinformation that floats around the fitness industry. And so if that sounds interesting to you, go down below and click that link to watch that free video training. This is everything that I learned in my 3 years in gaining 40 pounds. It's the secrets, keys, and principles to actually get your dream physique. And so go down below, click that link, watch that free video training. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Always remember to get her done.